What is going on, guys? Welcome to the 47th episode of the Solgr Fusha Only Show podcast. I am Solgr Only.
I am the one and only Fusha here as well.
And we are joined once again by Homicidal Lou. How's it going tonight?
It's going okay, going fingers crossed right now. Oh god. It's on yellow.
Right, yeah, he's been having some net
Internet
issues lately.
problems.
Yeah.
And it's back up on green.
Yeah, so have we as well too. I mean, we've had some issues with a few different things, and I'll kind of get into that in a little bit. Inebriation is going to be joining us at some point tonight as well. He just put in chat that he's in the middle of a strike in Destiny 2. So I really wanted to have him on this week because that's one of the big things we're going to be getting into tonight. Is Destiny 2
PC.
dropped on PC earlier this week, along with something else that I've been playing a lot of. Assassin's Creed Origins. We'll get into that as well too. That dropped Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And just this weekend, I've already put, I think I'm probably about 14, 15 hours into it already.
Yeah, I think so. It's been the majority of the game that you've been playing all weekend.
And
it looks incredible.
It is really good. So we'll get into that.
You put a lot of time into the game.
Yeah, and I don't think I've even started to even scratch the surface either. That's kind of the crazy thing.
Probably not you.
I thought I was getting like kind of close to the end of like at least the like main kind of campaign story kind of thing.
Until you saw the map.
Well, you could see the whole map like right from the start, and I was always like, God,
It's
this is huge. But like as like the main story was like progressing, it seemed like we were getting to the end of it. I'm not going to spoil anything, so I'm trying to do this without spoilers, but it gets to this point where you think it's going to end, but then it's like, oh, but no, by the way, that wasn't everything, and
There's another mission.
and then it wasn't like that. It updates all your quests after what I thought was kind of like the final boss, kind of, and it updates your quest section, and it's like it updated like 5 main ones.
Wait,
and
you can't finish yet. You've still got 365 pages of missions to do.
Right. Well, and I had heard it was the IGN Unlocked podcast, the IGN Xbox podcast, and Alana on there was the one that reviewed it for IGN, and I think she said she played it for about like 40 hours. And so I know I was getting close to kind of like the 14, 15 hour mark. So I thought, well, okay, maybe that was like the main kind of campaign part. And then it's going to be 20, 30 hours of side stuff, because there is a ton of side stuff to do. But as it turns out, there's still kind of a lot of that main plot line that I'm still doing. And
even if you don't finish it in enough time, I don't know if I would like save this stuff over, but with the new Xbox coming out, it is going to be compatible with that. That I don't know if it's going to change the graphics and make them a little more sharp, or if it'll just be as good as it is now. Well,
you will see improvements on HD 1080p as well too. Obviously, to get the full effect of the One X, it's 4K and all that stuff is the big selling point of it. But you will see enhanced stuff on a regular, like on a 1080p display as well. You'll get faster load times, faster frame rates, and even what they do, it's upscaled. They upscale that 1080p image so it's a little bit sharper and stuff. But you actually make a good point. So with the save, I think I should be all right because my Assassin's Creed is on my external. So I think it should be all right. But I think it would actually be similar to what I did with the PS4 and the PS4 Pro when I got the Pro.
And it transferred.
I bet you'll just transfer everything over.
That's what I'm thinking. I can't wait
Maybe
till that new Xbox comes out.
Don't guarantee me on this one because I'm not 100% sure. I think you might be able to drag them games and save data from internal to external drives as well. I'm not 100% sure on it. It'd be good if they did that.
Yeah. Because it just dawned on me, because I'm wondering if it is done differently than it was for the PS4 and PS4 Pro, because I know, because on the PS4, some of your like game save files, not the games themselves, but the game save files, I think are to the cloud, I think.
Yeah, you got cloud on Xbox One as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
they started using cloud when the Xbox 360 with Kinect came out.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I did hear that. Okay,
Yeah, so
so I would
they've wrapped all
imagine,
that up.
yeah, I would imagine it should it's probably gonna be pretty similar to what it was like on the PS4.
That's what I would think.
I haven't really looked into that, but I need to
Yeah.
look into it soon, because the
Yeah.
One X is dropping in a little over a week. Yeah, on the 7th.
Yeah, I want to get the Xbox One X, but I don't at the same time. Because if I get the Xbox One X, I'm going to want to get a 4K TV to get the full experience, and I can't afford a 4K TV, never mind an Xbox One.
That is the issue. Yeah, that is the issue, because like I don't have a 4K display at this point. I mean, I play on monitors and stuff, so it's like I have been kind of looking at 4K monitors though, and
It's fine for me, I play on the TV.
Are they doing a midnight release for the console, or is it just the day of the 7th after work we go and get it?
you know, I haven't looked at that either. I would think if it, well, we're not doing it at GameStop like we do a lot of our games, but if I bet GameStop might be doing like a midnight one, maybe, but for the One X we pre-ordered it at Best Buy, so I don't know. That's another thing I need to look into as well too. I kind of, we're gonna get into this tonight too. I mean, there's been so many games coming out lately,
Including Destiny 2 PC.
Yeah.
Guess who's got it? Not me.
Not me. Well, you
I
know.
definitely haven't got it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work on something, because it would. I mean, you have to have it. I mean, it's gonna be.
I refuse to get it. I refuse to get it.
I know, but it's gonna be awesome, being able to play with everyone. I mean, when was it? It was a few days ago. I think it was like the day after it came out.
Honestly, I don't think my PC is going to be able to run it. I had trouble running Tetris last night.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, I'd be curious. Like, I don't know what your specs exactly are, but I've heard that this game is optimized really well on PC, and I've heard people running it 60 frames on some like potato laptops and stuff. So it's like,
That should be fine then, because I got quad core.
okay, see, I think you should be able to, like, if you haven't looked at them before, check out the like minimum, like required specs or whatever that Bungie has put out. Because I remember when they first released it, a lot of people in the community were surprised kind of by like how old some of the parts were on their spec list, because it's like Destiny is such a huge game, and it's honestly a technical feat what Bungie and Vicarious Visions was able to do on the PC version, because it's such a big game. There's so much physics and stuff going into it too, because you have to think there's physics behind all the projectiles of all the bullets. There's how many enemies they can keep on screen. There's the AI running in the background for the enemies. There's so much going on. And that's why they can't and that's why they didn't do 60 frames per second on console. They said it was literally a bottlenecking issue on the PlayStation's and the Xbox's CPU side of things, not the graphical side of things. It was a CPU bottlenecking issue. And I mean, of course, some people are like, well, I bet the PS4 Pro, and if not that, definitely at least the One X should be able to run it at 60 frames a second, which it probably could, but they're not going to do that when they have these exclusive deals with Sony, and they're not going to be like, here's the Xbox One X, you can play it at 60 frames a second, but we have deals with Sony, and here you can play that with 30, because they know how big, a lot of gamers are over that 30 to 60 frames. Like, it's a huge difference. Like for instance, the PC version of Destiny 2, when you play that, when I've been playing it, and this is streaming it too, I'm usually around 70 to 80 frames a second, like as I'm streaming it, is what it's usually hitting. It'll dip a little bit, like it'll dip down to 60, maybe high 50s when I get in some pretty intense areas.
Situations.
Yeah, like public events and stuff.
Well, it's like I just noticed with it coming out on the 7th, it's a Tuesday. One of these days after work, we should go just put the rest of the money down on it so we don't have to do it the day of.
Yeah, because that's what we were planning on
yeah.
when we put the first amount down.
And we so far have only put down the minimum that we should probably
I have
the rest before the day of.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'm curious like to see. I'm curious to know like what the exact availability of everything is, because I know when pre-orders first went live for it, they went quick. I mean, the way Xbox and video game news outlets like GameSpot and all that, they were saying like the pre-orders were just gone. Like supposedly these are bigger than some like was it the 360? I think they said it has more pre-orders than like the 360 or something like that. I heard that somewhere, and I'm like, that has to be a lot, and that's crazy for a mid-generation upgrade one.
I mean, because the 360 did have quite a lot of sales, didn't it?
Yeah, the 360, if I remember right, actually won that generation. Like they actually sold more than the PS3.
I think it might have, yeah.
Yeah. The 360 was that console was a juggernaut. They did excellent. I mean, of course, there was also the Wii at the time too. In the Wii,
my mom bought us
came out of nowhere. Like,
keep us home.
I should say it came out of nowhere. Yeah, it didn't come out of nowhere because it had the innovation of the motion controls and everything. But I think it succeeded more than people thought it would, because I remember before the Wii came out, a lot of people were worried that it was just this big kind of gimmick kind of thing, and it worked. It worked, and Nintendo is doing it over again with the Wii or the Switch. They're seeing a lot of success with the Switch already too.
I enjoyed part of the Wii. I mean, it's like it was growing up as a kid. My mom bought us like the consoles, but they didn't really last too long,
right?
Just for whatever reason. But she ended up getting a Wii to try and make me and Jamie stay home.
It probably worked. That's what I was gonna say. It probably worked for the first day or two. Yeah, that's how that usually goes. But yeah, so going around. So at the beginning we usually go around and just kind of discuss some of the stuff that we got into over the week. We'll start. Yeah, this time let's start with Homicidal. What were you playing? What'd you get into this week?
A lot of D2 for definite.
Oh yeah.
Went through quite a bit of Tetris as well. Getting into a lot of Tetris lately. Trying to complete Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, at the moment I'm currently trying to defeat everything Ace A on the A class, which is the highest difficulty at the moment.
And then for the Tetris one, you said you were playing that on PC, didn't you?
I was trying to play it on PC, but I had to have it on Xbox as well.
Okay. What is your power level on Destiny 2 now?
293.
293?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I think. I mean, because I have all three of my characters, and I think they're all pretty much right around that. I think I started hitting like 295 or 296. I haven't played the Xbox version.
In a good God knows how many legendary shards I have.
Oh, geez.
Like 960, I think. Probably over 960.
Have you got to 1,000 yet to see if it can go over?
Not yet. I'm quite close.
Because I'm wondering if it's just going to do like 999 plus.
That would irritate me if it did.
I don't know, because
it's already irritating me.
Yeah, because it does it with the glimmer at like 99,999 or something.
And it just stops at 99.
Yeah, even if you keep piling it on, it will still just say 99,999 plus.
I think that's the most you can get. It's like 100,000. Because it will pop up saying glimmer full now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm also taking a look at the specs of my PC to see how well Destiny 2 would run on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to get
AMD
one.
A8 Elite Quad Core CPU.
Okay, so you do have an AMD one?
Yeah.
Okay, cause I've been hearing some stuff between the Destiny 2 PC version and something with AMC cards, but I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what it was, so I don't really want to speak too much on it and give wrong
Yeah.
information out. But I would try and look into that to see what it was. I think it was just certain ones were kind of having some issues or something. Because like I mean I'll get into it in a little bit when we get more into the Destiny 2 PC version, but I was kind of having some kind of issues earlier as well too, but I don't know if it was with like I don't think it's the game itself or my computer, the internet, or OBS. Like there's just been like a bunch of different stuff going on, but
I do know that like you're past due on cleaning out the computer, dusting.
that is the thing. I really need to get in there and clean out in there and
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would make all the difference.
Mhm.
You've had it for like what, we're in October now, going into November, so at
we
least
got it in
7 months.
January, didn't we?
Yeah.
We got it in like January or February.
I think it was the beginning of January that we got it. Maybe, yeah. So it's like a good 7, 8, at least 9 months, 10 months. We're in October now. I think it would be best if you clean it out one of these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I do need to, cause so like I was, yeah. Saint says in chat that he cleans once a month, and that's about the usual. That's what I usually hear people.
Yeah,
people
I've
say.
only cleaned mine once, and that didn't go too well.
Yeah,
I just
damn.
I
wonder
thought
if
I busted it. I almost busted the graphics card.
Oh
Oh
no.
no, that's
The
not
graphics
good.
card's an AMD Radeon R7,
Oh god. Yeah, that's.
and I almost broke it.
Saint Demon needs to teach you how to do it so that you don't have to have Saint Demon or Inebriation come over and do it for you.
Well, to be fair, when they were here, Saint actually explained it a little bit, like how he does it, like how he cleans his and stuff. So
First
I
time
need to
invite
teach you
over, have
methods.
you be like have somebody there with you the first time you do it, just
I
to
know.
be safe.
I know. I'm really leery about it, especially like when I get like how I have some upgrades kind of planned, you know, like my motherboard
Yeah.
and certain things. Like when I start getting into that too, I'm a little nervous about all that crap too. You know, like getting in there and.
So I need you to come over and help us out, Saint Demon.
You might have.
Yeah.
You might. Yeah. You might get a call from us.
Ooh.
I think it could.
There's also one game I want to go through that I really do not recommend to anyone because I managed to complete this game on my second run under 2 minutes.
What one is it?
You remember when I was on about the Xbox Live Games for Gold a while ago? When Gone Home Console Edition was the newest one out?
Yeah.
Don't get it. It's terrible.
That's
Really?
not good.
Cause because I mean I haven't read a lot about it, but I remember hearing around like some of the podcasts and stuff I listened to that a lot of people liked it. It seemed like.
I don't like it. As soon as you find out how to complete the game, you can pretty much do it under 2 minutes.
Really? Okay. See, I mean,
Yeah.
I have heard from some people before that they didn't like it. They said how it was kind of like a walking simulator kind of.
It is.
So, and when I was hearing that, I guess it kind of sounds like it's one of those games. It's going to depend on the person, and your mood. Like if you're in the mood for a game like that, or if you're not. You know what I mean? Because like there's times where I kind of wouldn't mind a game like that, where it's like. Think of it kind of like the Silent Hills PT demo, you know, like where it was just like walking through like a spooky house, kind of exploring first person like that. Sometimes that could be kind of cool, but that's not like an everyday. You know, it depends on what kind of mood you're in to play at that time. But
that's true.
I was thinking about getting it too when it was the Games for Gold. Speaking of which,
that's when I got it.
So you can I don't think I heard that about it though. So you can actually beat it in like 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes.
Yep.
Jesus.
That's how quick the game can go by.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Under 2 minutes if you don't count the minute-long cutscene that you have to sit through before you actually get into the game.
3 minutes if you count the intro.
And if you count the intro, which is pretty much just the name of the game and talking over it.
Right.
That's all it is.
The one game I still really need to finish that I think I'm like so close to finishing is Ratchet and Clank. Because I got pretty far that day that you went into work on that Saturday and I ended up playing. I got like so far in it. But now I noticed each time I go back to it, I'm like, wait, what was I doing? Where was I supposed to go? So I'm like, but I know I'm just about done with it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do that. Like, you know, when you don't play anything for a while. Like with me lately, like I played a lot of Shadow of War, and now I've been playing a ton of Assassin's Creed Origins this weekend, and they're kind of similar in some ways. So then it's like when I go back into Shadow of War, it's like
remembering what your last task was. And
yeah, because it kind of there is like a lot of similarities, and they're both great games. Like I've been having a blast with both of them. I still need to play that too. Ratchet and Clank. I still want to get into that one.
There's a ton I need to get into, but I think I will play more when I get the Xbox, just because like the PlayStation is so limited on the internet service thing that.
Yeah, and for myself, so I mean, I've already kind of been talking, you know, a little bit about most of the week. I mean, during the week before Assassin's Creed came out on Friday, it was still a lot of Destiny 2 on PC, and then Shadow of War after. Friday was a crazy day though. So that was the day Assassin's Creed Origins dropped, but there was also 2 other big games that dropped that same day that I definitely would have loved to get as well, but I passed on them for now.
We had to do the responsible thing in adult.
Yeah. Wolfenstein 2 came out, which I'm really looking forward to that one, and I still want to get it. I think I would actually probably get that one for PC, because I have the first one on PC that I still need to play more of. And then Super Mario Odyssey actually released as well. And the thing with that is we don't have a Switch yet.
Switch.
Yeah. But the Switch is finally... Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What were you saying?
I have a bit of an announcement.
What's that?
And it actually leads up to my rhythm game playing. Next year, I'm going to be in the tournaments.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! When do those start?
I think in around autumn time.
Hell yeah!
Though.
Yeah.
Nice. Hell yeah.
That's crazy. That's gonna be awesome to see.
It's nerve-wracking right now.
Yeah, I bet, man. Like I remember, like when I was younger and like with skating and stuff. Like when I started getting sponsors and started skating in competitions and stuff like that. It's before my first one, actually, my very first competition I was ever in. I puked before I went out. I literally did.
You were just so nervous. I can't be on the spotlight like that.
I did, and I crushed my first run. Freaking nailed it, and then the first trick on my second run, I crushed my wrist. I broke my wrist. It was like when I finally went to the hospital a couple days later, the doctor said that kind of break is like so rare. He said like he's never seen one like that before, and because like in the X-ray, like where your arm, so when your arm comes from your elbow up to your wrist, like right here on that forearm, how the bone kind of like splits into 2 and then comes back together. So right here in the X-ray, one of them, so one broke and then popped under the other one, so they were an X.
Ouch.
And I can still bend my wrist or move my wrist like this, just side to side in a certain angle, and you'll still hear it pop and stuff. And
yeah, see, I still have yet to break a bone. I haven't broken any bones yet, but I've gotten stitches.
I've broken more than enough for both of us.
I've only broken one.
Oh, a lot of the bones I've broken multiple times too.
Well, I got a scar on my chin from the stitches I got, but other than that, I've been lucky enough to not break any bones.
That's the funny thing. I've never had stitches. I've had surgeries and broken everything, but I've never had stitches because every time I was probably supposed to have them, I either super glued it back together or duct taped it back together.
Oh,
I've had quite a lot of stitches.
There was a lot
in the 90s for you.
It was, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 90s and early 2000s actually.
Where there wasn't so many safety help things like, oh, stay away from this.
It's
stay away
before
from that.
before everyone got so damn sensitive.
Right. It really was.
All right.
We were one of the last generations to get away with our shenanigans that we were up to without it being.
Well, now it's just so much easier to get caught. You know, electronic leashes and technology and social medias and.
By far.
Although it's just a totally different time.
I have had a few members laugh at this that I've said a few times at work, because with technology and how much it's advanced, it's supposed to be so amazing, but it can't even handle a decimal point or a space in the wrong spot.
Oh, God.
And it'll just like crap out on you, or like won't let you go to the next thing, and it's like you're supposed to be so advanced, but you can't even handle a decimal point technology. I mean, come on. Why you gotta be such a stubborn little.
And then especially like, you know, with all this stuff, you know, some of the technical issues you can have with all this is just some of the dumbest and minor things, and
they never tell you what it is. You always have to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's the side note.
Oh yeah. So, and another thing, this is a nice segue into probably your movie thing for the week. But I finally saw Wonder Woman. Yesterday, right?
Yes. Yesterday.
Yeah. And it was really good.
I really enjoyed it. It was the first time I was actually able to see the first 15-20 minutes, whereas I've seen the rest from like that point on to the end. But I really enjoyed it. I think they did really good on Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I kind of like how they did it too, because remember before it came out, we were wondering like how they would do it because we had seen her in Batman vs Superman already.
Which I loved the intro where it's like, hopefully I can hear your story, and then it goes into her as a kid. That transition from what I had missed.
That's the perfect way to do it. That's the best way to do it, because her character was actually introduced in Batman vs Superman. So then when you're doing her solo film, it's like, is it going to take place before that, or? But you have to do like an origin, right? You have to do an origin story. So I like how I'm trying to stay away from spoilers and stuff, so it's not really a spoiler, but it's in like the current time, and then she looks at a photograph of her that you could tell is old. Yeah, that
copy of.
Exactly, and then so it's her kind of thinking about her growing up. It's technically a flashback in that sense, because then at the end it goes back to the current time of her,
of where it began in the beginning.
Yeah, of her looking at the photograph in the current time. So it is technically like a flashback telling.
I enjoyed it though. It did have its
comedic moments.
Yes, comedic bits that I really enjoyed. And yeah, I'm really glad that you finally watched it, even though I passed out because I've been super lazy this weekend.
They did really good on the actress choice too. I love the actress. I mean, I've liked her for a while, especially in she was in Fast and the Furious movies. And
see, those movies I missed a lot of. I've only maybe seen 2 or 3 of them.
I actually haven't seen the last 2. Because they did an 8 now. They did Fate of the Furious too, so I haven't seen 7 or 8.
Yeah, we'll have to catch up on those 2. But what I'm super stoked for is Walking Dead tonight, and then we'll do our Talking Decay tomorrow. But
yes. So if you are fans of The Walking Dead, make sure you check out our Walking Dead podcast that we stream now.
Talking Decay.
Yep, Talking Decay.
There will be spoilers.
Yeah, they are obviously spoilers, you know, so if you're not caught up to the current episodes, be forewarned.
Watch before looking.
Yeah, right. See, and that's the thing. I never really thought about it. I guess if for whatever reason we somehow miss an episode, we probably just wouldn't have our Talking Decay for that week. You know what I mean? Because
Probably. Well, we could do it on a Tuesday to where you take time off stream and we watch it on demand.
I think we did have to do that once last year when our Talking to Kay, when our Walking Dead podcast was just audio. I think we had to do it a day late once because we had to watch it on demand.
It's just you would have to take time off the stream so that we could watch it on demand and.
So yeah,
sorry, we'd miss it though.
So yeah, you can catch that on Mondays at 9, right? Are we doing that at 9?
Yeah, I think so.
9 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah.
At the same place, twitch.tv/SolgrOnly, right here.
With the one and only Fusha.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, on the movies front, there isn't really too much because what's coming out November 4th or something here soon is Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, Thor Ragnarok, and then like a couple weeks after that is Justice League.
I want to see both of those. So
I mean,
if we get the chance to have a date night,
2 of them,
or a matinee Sunday movie.
No, I mean we're gonna have to go see him, you know. So
I bet you anything, my mom would be going. We could go see him with her.
Yeah, I know.
In the luxury seats, a theater where it's like it's like a recliner, and it like lifts up under your feet, and then it has like big drink holders and stuff. Those seats are incredible.
Yeah, this movie theater is so awesome. That what one did we see there?
It
was Guardians, right? Guardians 2?
No, that one we saw with my sister and brother. And
the
one we saw with the luxury seats was Suicide Squad. When I was doing really good at work that I bonused, and one of their first, they had like 3 top people for that month got like a food certificate, movie tickets, or something else. And because I was the first one with like the highest ranks at the time, they came up to me and they're like, "Oh, which one do you want? You classified under the incentive." And I was like, "Oh, I'll take the movie one." And then me and you went and saw Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was also around our first podcast because we did it in a review of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it was our very first episode of this podcast. It was a review on Suicide Squad.
Oh, how we've evolved.
Right, we used to record it in the car because it was the only place where we can record audio versions without interruptions and
knocking on the door, or
background noises and dogs barking. And
however, even though we were in the car, we still had the neighbor come up to the window trying to talk to us, and it's like, "Can't you see we're trying to do something here?
I know.
Like, let us be."
I know. We're sitting there recording a podcast, and the freaking neighbor walks up to the window. I was so pissed.
Yeah,
remember how pissed I was at him?
Yeah, you were. You were furious, and I'm like, "It's okay, babe.
Right?
It's okay."
I know. Stuff like that drives me nuts. Wow. Okay. I was just looking at GameSpot up here just to kind of get some news on some video game news, and this caught my eye. Friday the 13th adds new game mode soon. Friday the 13th developer Ilphonic has announced a new mode for the multiplayer survival horror game dubbed Paranoia. The mode will be added to the title as a free update soon. Quote unquote. They said soon.
It sounds good.
Right? I still haven't gotten this game, but I still want to play it. Like, I've watched a lot of streams of it. The homie Darth plays a ton of it. I've watched him stream it a lot, and he streams it really good too. He makes it really entertaining to watch. He's freaking hilarious. But yeah, like, I mean, this one would be awesome. Like, I think I would probably get it on PC I would have to see what some of the homies had it on. Because I think Mundo plays it too, right? I've seen Mundo play it too.
Yeah, Mundo plays it. He plays it on Xbox PC. I don't know if he plays it on PS4.
Yeah, because I think I've seen him play it on Xbox and PC. Yeah, but it's awesome. I'm kind of surprised I haven't gotten this already because I was looking forward to this game for a long time before it came out.
Christmas is coming.
It was interesting how it started because the team that made it was actually developing a game that was supposed to be an homage to Jason and Friday the 13th, and it was just called like Camp something, not Camp Blood, or Camp Crystal Lake, which are references to the Friday the 13th, but it was Camp something, and it was just like a serial killer in a campground and stuff. But is it Sean Cunningham, the creator of Friday the 13th? I think that's his name. He caught wind of this game they were making, because the studio had been like doing a Kickstarter or something for it. So what they did is, so he caught wind of this game, and then he pretty much gave them the license to turn it into a Friday the 13th one for free, kind of pretty much. But because of all these like kind of legal reasons and contacts and where the rights are all tied up and all this, the studio wasn't able to get backing from it. So they were able to get the license, but not like the funding that you would expect that would come with a license like that. For some reason, like they weren't able to get that, so they still had to go through with the Kickstarter. But they finally were able to have it a Friday the 13th game, and that's what it came to be. So
the one game that I really hope we can get you again soon is The Evil Within.
Yes, because I want to play the second one that recently came out.
For how much that game scared me the first playthrough, I would still enjoy watching you play it again.
I bet the first one you could probably get on sale. Like you could probably get it kind of.
I don't think I could play it myself personally, though. I think it would scare me too much.
I might have to look on Steam or something to see how much it is on PC.
You should.
Because I'm pretty sure they made that for PC. I'm pretty sure it's on PC.
I don't know.
But continuing with this Friday the 13th mode, Ilphonic hasn't announced a date for when players can expect Paranoia mode to arrive, or even what the mode will entail. All the developer has shared is a psychedelic teaser trailer for the mode, which raises more questions than it answers. And there's a link here where you can watch it. So I haven't checked that out. I'll have to watch that later. Friday the 13th's most recent update arrived earlier this month and introduced a number of new features and gameplay adjustments, along with a new map, the Jarvis House. It added a new Jason as well as a new counselor, Mitch Floyd. Friday the 13th is available for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The game received a physical release for the two consoles earlier this month. Oh, that's right, because it was only digital download at first. Fittingly, on Friday the 13th.
Which is also my nephew's 13th birthday.
Oh, damn it. Here we go. The PC version, meanwhile, is currently on sale for $20 on Steam to celebrate Halloween. Damn it.
Well,
by the time I get paid, though, I think it might be over, because that's if they stop the sale on Halloween. So I don't know. We'll have to see. That's awesome though that they did it on sale for $20. But I'm gonna have to watch this trailer. So I'm curious to see what this mode is going to entail. They have teased and rumored in the past of having like a single player kind of like campaign kind of story mode to it, but I don't think that's what this is.
You do know.
I don't know, for a mode, because it's called Paranoia. That doesn't really sound like something that would be like a single player like story campaign.
I've got you on Steam, I think.
Don't know.
The gears are working right now.
What are you up to?
What are you doing?
I'm up to something. It's obvious when I'm up to something, though, isn't it?
Right.
A little bit. You got this little mischievous laugh. Like,
you can hear, yeah.
You don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. You can hear the grin.
Yeah.
Something won't happen. It's a secret yet.
Well, we'll just wait, because when I get paid, I might. Yeah.
We'll have no other choice but to wait. We don't know.
Yep.
All right. So, didn't you say you have the games with gold pulled up so we can see?
Oh yeah.
Is it the ones for? It's the ones for November, right?
Current ones at the moment.
Oh, current ones.
Be getting a loot here by the end of this week.
Yeah, we should be getting another Loot Crate box here soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We should have another unboxing video coming soon.
That we'll probably do at the beginning or midstream if we receive it during the week.
Right. Yeah, I'm seeing. I don't know if they have the November games one yet.
They might not, because there's still a week. left in October.
Well, they usually come out with it a couple days before the end of the month. They'll normally do the
That's
next
true.
month's ones. So if it's not today,
Maybe it'll be tomorrow.
well, there is this neat thing here. Sony is announcing 7 games next week. E3 was only half the story. Sony is apparently going to announce 7 games next week. The company said in a blog post today that its briefing at Paris Games Week on Monday, October 30th, will include 7 all-new game announcements, quote unquote. This covers both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation VR. These announcements will start coming in during Sony's pre-show event, kicking off at 8 a.m. Pacific on October 30th.
What's on my cart?
What's that?
No. There's something that was in my Steam cart just then.
Oh, something was?
Just I removed something from the cart
The cart.
on Steam.
El Carte.
El Carte.
It's cheap.
I was sad I had to discontinue my free trial of Amazon Prime. I still get the benefits until November something, but it's after that.
That reminds me, I need to cancel the Audible one though too. The free trial for that, because I was able to get the audiobook Ready Player One, which I haven't started listening to yet. I need to start listening to that at work. So that's going to be dope. I'm going to have to pay attention to the news tomorrow. I guess Sony's going to be announcing seven games.
For each day of the week.
Let's think here for a second though. What do you think it could be? Because we already know they've already talked about like God of War, like the next God of War and stuff. They had that teaser trailer of The Last of Us 2, but does that count as like the official announcement, or do you think
Soldier? You know how you wanted Friday the 13th, right?
Are you for
Check
real?
his Steam. Check his Steam.
Yeah, I think I just saw something. Oh my god.
That is bloody brilliant.
On the
so
podcast
much.
he does it too. Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude. Thank you so much, man. That is awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Have fun, best wishes.
You're the real MVP.
That is so awesome.
That is
Damn, we're gonna
really
have to
awesome.
dive into this tomorrow probably.
Ooh,
Oh, we can
forgot
do it
about
on
something.
Halloween too. This could be another
Yes.
Halloween game.
Because we're gonna be on stream in
I
costume.
forgot about something.
I really love how our costumes turned out.
Oh yeah, I hope this doesn't mess up the stream. I think it might have actually accidentally started
Uh-oh.
downloading it.
Oh, it did it.
Yeah, I don't know. It might mess up the stream. Maybe, I don't know.
You got
I hope
so
not, but
giddy. That was awesome.
I know, that's so cool. Thank you so much.
That is
Oh,
incredible.
that's
Thank
gonna
you
be so
much.
awesome. But yeah, so to your point, I did
This
kind of
is not-
mention it earlier
this
on
is not-
stream. Tuesday we are gonna do a Halloween stream. We're
Yes.
planning on playing COD Zombies. We'll be in costume. I didn't say what it was, so
No, you didn't say what it
Yeah.
was, but we will be in costume.
yeah.
And
You,
for Tuesday at work, I'm gonna wear my psych ward shirt and kitty ears. 'Cause I really don't know if we can dress up at work. I'm pretty sure we can as long as it's appropriate. But I mean, it's my psych ward shirt. I gotta wear it.
Soldier.
Hmm.
You do know that copy doesn't come with the DLCs, right?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Like
Yeah, that's still more than fine.
I didn't
Yet.
like.
Are you serious?
What the hell did you do? Oh my hell.
Happen with the DLCs.
Oh my goodness.
How many DLCs have they done? I didn't think they
I don't
had.
even know. I don't even know how many DLCs are there right now.
That is
I just selected the lot of them.
Oh my god.
Now you've got Friday the 13th and the DLCs. Have fun.
Oh my god, that is awesome.
Spoopy Tuesdays.
Spoopy.
Spoopy.
Yeah, I know. I've been planning on trying to bring Spoopy Tuesdays back too. Like,
Yeah, where's that gone?
I know, especially during the month of October, it was when I really wanted to bring him back. But like, you know, Destiny, just all these
Destiny
other games. Like, my
2.
god.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
There's
Even
just not enough time
Now
in a
Friday
day.
the 13th.
even full-time streamers like Tefty, you know, like even full-time streamers are like, I've heard them talking about like being overwhelmed like with all these great games coming out and everything they're playing. and that's their job. They make a living streaming. Like, so think about us, like with full-time jobs and then stream on the side. Like, yeah, there's no way in hell. Like,
Right. It's like I wish
That
I could
strike
just go
must
to
be lasting a
part-time so
long
I could play
time.
more.
yeah,
But we need to be full-time because we're adulting.
yeah,
But no, that is so incredible. Thank you so much.
yeah. That is gonna be so awesome.
You knew something
into
was
that.
going to happen.
Yeah, I knew you were up to something.
I was up to something. That was what I was up to. I should have put the DLCs and the game together, but I didn't think of that then.
Well, it's perfect how you did it though, because it's like, oh wait, there's more.
More,
Yeah.
much more.
There's a
Yeah, I
whole
just kind of
movie
tried to do a little trick. It doesn't come with the DLC yet.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was
a
perfect
good one,
timing
yeah.
because as soon as I said yes, I pressed purchase. So
The one surprise that I was just like totally incredible at, and I was like, because I can't keep anything from him. So if there's a surprise, I always end up telling him. But what he didn't know was it was like we had been together maybe 5 months. We weren't even together 6 months yet, and I had surprised him with his first tattoo. And I was telling him that I was like, we're gonna go to the DMV, and it's gonna be a fun and exciting day, and we're just gonna go here and take care of this and do that. And he's like, what the hell is so fun about going to the DMV? I'm like,
you'll see.
yep. And then we go into the tattoo shop that his buddy had at the time. Is like, you ready to get tattooed? He's like, yeah, when I have the money. He's like, no, you're getting tattooed today. And he's like, wait, what? That's like seriously the only surprise I've ever been able to actually contain and not spill the beans on.
Yeah, that's the cruel thing about me. Instead of my fiance not being able to keep anything from me and being able to tell me herself, I have this real nasty habit of tricking her into telling me what she's doing for me.
Yeah,
that's sneaky.
Yeah, that's sneaky.
I found out half of what she got me for Christmas last year by using that trick.
Jesus.
You know, I know what she's gonna say the same thing. She offered.
It was torture.
Yeah.
It was pure torture. 'Cause you know, growing up, it was always tradition that you open one present before Christmas Day. You open one present Christmas Eve, which was usually 9 times out of 10 the pajamas you gotta open and sleep in for the night before.
Oh yeah,
Christmas.
that's what my chair is.
I got
is
him
the early Christmas present.
Yeah, well, I had gotten him a ton of good Christmas gifts, and I was really proud of everything that I was able to pull off and wrap, and him not knowing what I got or when I got it. That it was Christmas Eve last year, and I'm like, so do you want to open a present, just one, for in sake of Christmas Eve? He's like, no, I'll just wait till Christmas. I was like, why not? You're just doing this to torture me because you know I want you to open a present. He's like, no, I'll wait till Christmas to open them all. I'm like, you gotta open at least one present on Christmas Eve.
I don't know why too. I don't know why I was feeling like that because I was the little turd that was always peeking, you know, like trying to open everything.
Oh, God. We became pro at finding the presents, unwrapping them, and wrapping them back up
them
without any sign that they had ever been tampered with.
Yeah, we got so good at that. It's way too early for Christmas talk, though. We're still in October.
I did a little trick with this chair at the moment. My mum still hasn't forgiven me for doing this, so.
Well, there was even the Loot gaming box that I really wanted to surprise him with, is just get it and then have it show up in the mail and him not realize that we got the Loot gaming box that had the Destiny stuff in it.
You found out?
Yeah, I ended up telling him because we go to Best Buy and he wanted a Destiny shirt, and I'm like, well, it's either this or it's the box. But I hadn't told him about the box. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm probably not going to be able to afford the box, so yes, go ahead and get the shirt. And he's like, wait, what else were you gonna get? And I'm like, this is what I was gonna do, but I don't think we have enough money for it. And then I showed him, he's like, no, we're getting it. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I figured. I should have known we were gonna get it either way, but the way I had been like, okay, yeah, go ahead and get that shirt since I can't do what I wanted to do for you. And you're like, wait, what were you gonna do?
And it's an awesome Destiny box. I wish we had it in here because, I mean, you remember the unboxing because we did the unboxing live on stream, but what we didn't realize which Fusha did the other day, you can actually the box itself that it comes in, you can actually unfold it and then flip it around and refold it. It's actually a freaking loot box
from Destiny.
From Destiny 1. It looks like the gold loot boxes in Destiny 1.
And it's even like with our Fallout.
And then with the Fallout one, you fold it around and it looks like one of the loot boxes in Fallout.
Which I had no idea the Loot Gaming boxes or Loot Crate did those with the boxes, but when I saw a thing on Facebook how he was able to turn it into something else, I'm like, wait a minute, there is a design inside all these boxes.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to just open and reverse it, and then when you reverse it, it turns into like a Destiny Loot Crate box. Loot box, and then
even from the in-game from the game
is like a what did you call that one?
That's actually
like
it's a military ammo case is what that is. I have some in the backyard for my grandpa. Real ones like that. A real metal one like that. Yeah. I have one in the backyard.
I think. Yeah.
You've probably seen it.
I think so. But
they're narrow green metal ones.
So from here on out, whatever Loot Crate boxes we get, I'm probably going to turn them inside out and then store stuff in those
Speaking
boxes.
of which, I think our next one is Dungeons and Dragons, Skyrim, Doom.
The one for November, I think, is going to be Fallout.
That's the next one. Not the one we're getting.
Yeah, not the one we've already paid for.
But next month's, yeah.
But we need to find out if we can afford the one for November because we haven't canceled it yet.
I know. Last year, we had it where we were just getting loot crates every month. But this year, we kind of have to pay attention to see what ones they are. If it didn't matter, like I was telling you, it would be cool not to look to see what the next ones are. So every time we get them, it would literally just be like...
It's so cool.
It's still a surprise because we know what franchises are going to be in it, but we don't know what items or
what's going to be the shirt, what's going to be the poster, what's going to be this...
knick-knack and statue or figure.
But what's really cool is that we really wish we could get it each and every single month and just pay for it in advance. But usually when we get one box and then we cancel a subscription, so that just because we have to be responsible and budget or whatever, every time you go to cancel a subscription, it's like, are you sure you want to go? We'll give you 5% off your next box. And it's like, why do you do this to me? You literally have to hit like, yes, I'm sure, like 3 times. Yeah, it's like even canceling the Amazon Prime, I had to hit yes, cancel 3 different times.
They keep offering you like discounts and some other stuff to try and keep you.
It's so hard because it's
they always do.
I can't afford you this month. Don't make it any harder on me than it needs to be.
Right. So I was trying to segue into this when I was like, it's only October, too early for Christmas talk.
Right.
Because what I was going to get into real quick is some of the games that are going to be coming out in November. I mean, we talked about some of the games that came out recently and how it's been a lot of great games dropping in such a close time frame. It's not letting up anytime soon. November 3rd already, we have Call of Duty World War II.
That actually looks good.
Yeah, see, I'm normally not the biggest Call of Duty fans, even though we do play it. But the reason why we like getting them lately is for zombies. So
yeah. I'm
pretty sure we probably will try and get that day one, probably.
Maybe.
If not, very soon after.
What was it Gears of War that we streamed together?
The first one? Yeah, it was Gears of War, yeah.
No, that's what I thought it was. That one was actually pretty fun. Although it was like, it turned into a fail because my audio wasn't on and his was. So throughout the whole gameplay, you can only hear him. And I wasn't talking loud enough so you could hear me. And we didn't even realize until after we went back to watch it. And we're like, oh, oops.
And then there's also and then the 1X on the 7th, and then what the hell is playing? I hate this website that plays these automatic videos. God, you suck.
Yeah, sort of.
I know, I was like, what is that noise? Where is it coming from?
Yeah, it's this stupid website.
What were you saying?
Yeah, Soldier, you've recently found out what my hidden talent is, haven't you, as well?
Singing, like you were saying in chat earlier, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, so like my voice is like extremely deep, right?
Alright.
Right.
It's quite deep, but I can hit quite high tones. Surprisingly.
Wow.
I can link a song in the chat that I'm practicing currently. And it's a difficult song for the sheer fact of how fast the lyrics are.
Ooh.
Alright, yeah, you
That
can.
could be good. I remember I heard you sing for the first time. Because you had told me how your mom always loved you singing. I'm like, I want to hear you sing. And then you finally did. I'm like, you're so incredible.
Yeah, I don't really do it that often as much anymore.
As much, yeah.
Okay, I was just glancing at this real quick because I was curious. I haven't heard anything on it yet. I'm sure when I listen to the podcast this week I'll hear it, but just looking ahead right to the score, it looks like GameSpot gave Wolfenstein 2 a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I'm gonna try and check that link later. So I'm interested to hear this.
Oh, the song I linked.
Yeah. I'm gonna
It's quite a fast one. It's quite a fast song. I've been able to keep up slightly, but I just gotta practice a little bit more.
Alright. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find something for the games with gold for November, but I don't think they have November's out yet.
It's out yet. Because there's 31 days in November that they might do it like the last
October, you mean?
October, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 31 days in October that they might be
I
doing
think
it
I've still got the ones for October up.
Yeah.
Oops, I kind of lost them. I can bring them out up quickly. Nope. My controls
actually, I found it right here.
Oh.
Here are all the free Xbox games with gold for November 2017.
One of them's going to be the Turing Test.
As the months roll by more quickly than ever, and as 2017 rushes toward its wintry conclusion, November approaches like a gust of cold wind. Here's what's coming to Xbox gamers next month. Looks like Trackmania Turbo. That's from November 1st to 30th on Xbox One. And then Tales from the Borderlands. November 16th to December 15th for Xbox One. Xbox 360, there's Nights into Dreams from November 1st to the 15th on Xbox One and Xbox 360. And then Deadfall Adventure from November 16th to the 30th on Xbox One and Xbox 360 as well. So...
that's what I was going to ask you. When does that...
And the Turing test, yeah, I see the Turing test on here too.
I was going to ask, when does that Being Human, or what was it?
Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit. When is that one coming out?
Being Human.
Yeah.
Let me look at that actually, because I'm really curious on that as well.
That one I thought looked really good, and I would love to play it.
If this stupid thing would let me go back to it, my God.
You can take a quick speed test now for a minute.
Detroit Become Human.
I really did something to my shoulder. I slept on it wrong. It hurts.
All that we have is 2018.
2018.
That's all it literally says on here.
It's only 3 months away. Maybe I can finally finish Life is Strange.
Yeah, you should.
I should play more, though. I should definitely play more. I've been meaning to, but then I get sidetracked doing laundry and cleaning and Facebook. But...
Oh, that doesn't look good.
What happened?
My internet speed. It's looking bad. I'm paying for the megabits per second internet connection. At the moment, I'm seeing about 5.59 megabits per second right now.
It was weird yesterday. The internet in our whole area went out. Like the cable and internet went out for a while.
Wow.
I still think somebody hit a pole.
That's what finally gave me enough time to watch Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh my. I love you.
All right.
Yes.
So I was hoping by this point Inebriation would be here so we could talk about the PC version of Destiny 2. So what I'll get into is actually
sidetracked.
The TWAB from this last Thursday. So I mean, we've talked a little bit about about Destiny 2, about some of our thoughts, like as far as the end game is concerned and stuff like that. I mean, we haven't gotten fully into it. Like, I still want to get everyone together, like Inebriation and Saint and all of us, especially once Saint and Inebriation like have a little bit more time with it, since they just barely started playing it this week. They're only not even a week in yet. But once they have some more time into it, we can all, have a round table, what we think about the game, what we'd like to see changed, yada, yada, and all that stuff. So,
as soon as everybody's on the same page.
Exactly. But with this week at Bungie, this last Thursday, this is like one of the best TWABs in a long time, just because
they listen. If you build it, they will come.
They're showing that they are paying attention. This week it's from Cosmo. This week at Bungie, we launched Destiny 2 on PC. The PC version of Destiny 2 is finally here. Amid all the excitement, you might have missed your introduction to the team that made this moment possible. Thanks to everyone who has joined us on this new platform. If this is your first Bungie game, we welcome you with open arms. Okay, so looking ahead, right now at Bungie, we've passed the development torch from the people that made Destiny 2 to the people who will sustain it, which is the live team. We began a new conversation at TwitchCon with an introduction to 2 designers from the live team who are working on Seasons of Change for your Guardian lifestyle. If you missed their panel discussion, here's a glimpse at some of the items you can look forward to earning in Season 2. And they have the preview images of the Dawning sets and the Season 2 Iron Banner sets. The conversation continues about how this game will evolve. Game director Christopher Barrett is also working on making Destiny 2 a game that will challenge and reward you in new ways. You may have heard from him in the past as he introduced new ways to play in House of Wolves and Rise of Iron. He's an engaged player, a guardian like you, and he has some new thoughts about how the world of the game should adapt to the way you play. Okay, so this is from Christopher Barrett himself, and I believe he's also the director of the live team. So he's kind of the Luke Smith of the live team. Hey everyone, we've been playing the game in the wild for 7 weeks, and like the Destiny experiences that have come before, we're always thinking about where the game is heading next. We're still planning when a bunch of the improvements listed below are going to make their way into the game, but we wanted to let you know what we're up to. Here's a short list of updates we're working on. All right, so now what I can do, there's like some bullet points here of some stuff that they're changing. So I'll read them off, and then after each one, kind of pause to, let me know what you kind of think about it.
Feedback.
Yeah, so the first one, new systems and rewards to give our most engaged players additional optional pursuits. And the first thing I think when I hear this is new systems and rewards to give our most engaged players. So the hardcore, right? Our most engaged players. That's literally the hardcore players. And that has been one of the biggest issues is the hardcore players are, they feel like they focus too much on the casual and there's not enough of a grind,
Right.
That's pretty much what the bottom line is.
Coming from is that there's
not enough end game. Yeah, it's not. There isn't the grind there that there was like in Destiny 1.
So that should be good. That should be really good though.
Yeah, so I'm loving that they have that right off the start. So new systems and rewards to give our most engaged players additional optional pursuits. So optional pursuits, actually give you reasons to actually do different things, right? Like strikes in Destiny 1, I ran a ton of strikes. Like I was the striker, for D1, but I literally haven't ran him that much in D2 other than when you kind of have to for the milestones or whatever,
Right.
Ooh, I'm also giving someone else a little try that I haven't done before. Like, also a part of Destiny 2. Guided games for the Nightfall.
Oh, you did try it, you mean?
I'm trying it right now.
Oh, right now.
So far behind.
Nice.
Yeah, the selection actually is different from what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just going to send you straight to the Night Forest and you selected guided games, but no.
No, I heard there's a wait.
Basically, you've got two options to pick: a seeker and a guider. Basically, when it comes to actually being a guider on the game, you have to have at least two people in the fire team.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're the seeker, it can only be one person.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I am gonna be so far behind when I do start playing. You guys are gonna have to carry me a long way.
And that would be right. I mean, I can't wait. So remember when we pick up the 1X, we have to get another copy of D2 for you.
We'll have to. I won't let it turn into grenade throwing to the back of your head.
All right, so here's the second bullet point. Better incentives for players who complete challenging prestige activities. And this is... So, I mean, everything they put here is criticism and feedback that I've been hearing everywhere. You know, blog posts, podcasts, everything. Streams, like...
Everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, for people who thinks Bungie doesn't listen, they just need to see this. Like,
agreed. That's what I like about Bungie, is that they do something with the reviews, and
they interact with the community so well. Like their community team, like Deej and Cosmo and stuff, you know, like they're like, you'll see them in streams, like you'll see them in people's chats, you'll see them like playing with, like, you know, like they pay a lot of attention.
It's really awesome that they fix what they can, and they don't just quit after hearing the bad reviews or the complaints. They actually are like, oh, okay, so you've been having this issue and this person's been having the same issue. Let's see what we can do to fix it, to
what was awesome,
those diehards.
What was awesome, that thing I showed you on Reddit where that dude did a mock-up of what it would be tied if the vendors inventory looked like this, and he created this thing with Photoshop, this mock-up of what it would look like if you went to a vendor and had all these different like loot tables, and it would be so dope if the game was this way. It would be so good with the progression and looting and grinding, and Cosmo himself replied back to it and said, "This is amazing. I'm going to show this to the development team ASAP."
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean that they're going to do that.
Right.
But that's awesome that thing that kid made is being shown to the devs.
Is being recognized for the greatness that it could bring to the game.
If the vendors were set up like how that kid did it, and he had it detailed too. He had images of it, but then his post on Reddit, like, I wish I had his username so I can refer the post, but it had full descriptions of what everything was and how everything would work, and on paper, like, it was incredible.
It was cleaned up and more neatly organized to what this one, what that one. And I remember you showing me, it was
cool. Cause like, so when you level up, hit different levels, it would unlock more part. It was kind of like D1 in some aspects, but advanced, right? Like what a sequel should be, of what, like, it honestly looked like what D2 should be, like, as far as like the vendors, how the vendors work and stuff. So, but when I hear the second bullet point, better incentives for players who complete challenging prestige activities, I've been hearing a lot of that. So like even running the prestige nightfalls or prestige raids, you're not really getting loot that is like mind blowing, you know, like it like in some aspects, I've heard some people say it's not even really that great. I've heard some people say that they wish that the raid gear would actually give you perks that pertain to the raid like it did in D1. So it's kind of another thing. The third bullet point is one that I'm really stoked to hear as well. Better rewards and replay value for strikes, adventures, and lost sectors. This is probably one that you probably like a lot as well too, right, Homicidal? Because me and you run a lot of adventures and lost sectors and stuff. Not that many strikes, but this is awesome. Better rewards and replay value. So give you reasons to actually grind them, to redo them. And the rewards need a buff so bad on it anyways. Like,
Right.
Once you hit max level in like the end game and stuff, it's pointless to do lost sectors because the stuff you get in it, you know, is so low level. Like they're relevant when you're like in the hundreds, you know, maybe when you barely hit the 200s, but once you get later on, not so much. This is a huge one for the competitive community. Private matches for the competitive community, they are targeting early 2018. So private matches will be coming back.
Wow, nice. That's what we wanted.
Yes, so back to our 1v1 rocket matches.
Which might be...
Good toast.
Oh, I was just going to say, which might be around the time I'm actually into like playing it more. And
well, they're targeting early 2018, they say. So
yeah, I'll be playing it before.
You're gonna be playing it in a couple weeks.
That's true.
So
weeks. I just have to actually play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
Crucible tuning, like adjusted supremacy scoring and better spawning rules. So tuning the Crucible, which is always a good thing.
Exactly what is needed.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people don't like supremacy that much. Like, I don't mind it. I don't hate it like I hear a lot of people do, but it can definitely use some tuning though.
Yeah. Shall I tell you what I would like to see brought back along with private matches?
The
FFA game mode, free for all.
Oh, Rumble, right? Isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
I'd like to see that brought back.
Yes, I have heard that too. I would love Rumble back. I'm a big supporter of that one. I really want to see Rumble back. Briar Rabbit from Destiny Community Podcast, he really wants to see Rumble back too. I've heard him mention it so many times in both his podcasts that he's in.
Wouldn't be too bad if we did our 1v1s in elimination, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
that's one thing I'm good at, elimination.
You know what? I was thinking this the other day, and I'm glad I remember this to mention this. I would love... Okay, so it was a PvP mode that was in Gears 4, but I never played Gears 4, so I never played it, but I heard about this mode. And on paper, it sounds like an awesome mode, and if it works, I would kind of love to see it in Destiny 2, I think. Mm-hmm. But it's... I think it's just called Dodgeball. But it's a regular match, so it's not like you're playing with dodgeballs, you know. So it's a regular PvP match with guns, but it works like dodgeball. So like when a player dies, you know, they're put off to the sideline, you know. So it's just like dodgeball. And then I can't remember what it is, and it would work in Destiny because you trade a lot in Destiny where you both die at the same time. So then think if like a trade happens, then a player can come back from the side, like when you catch it, or no? How does that? I don't know. I don't know how they do it in Gears, but however they do it in Gears, that sounds like it would be an awesome mode for D2.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like a dodgeball one. Yeah, I think that'd be awesome to see some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, next bullet point: better incentives for completing Crucible matches and penalties for quitting competitive games.
Exactly what they need, penalties.
Yes, they do.
People just leave games randomly because they don't get the game mode they want. It's just like, you know, put up with it, or, you know, get punished for leaving and bailing on your team, really, like. Because it's not fair for the teammates, isn't it?
And strikes, right?
Very frustrating.
And then for strikes, do they extend that into PvE and do it to strikes? Like,
maybe.
You know,
strikes definitely need it.
They do. Bad. I mean, I was running a strike once on Xbox, and I had like 3 or 4 groups that come in. Like, I was playing it, but I could see down in the corner these groups joining and leaving, joining and leaving, joining and leaving.
That was just less.
So I was running it solo.
Yeah.
But
that's not right.
But one way they can get around this is not to have it in just a playlist. Like, I like having the option of a playlist, but I also like having options to be able to select. I mean, once private matches comes, you're going to be able to get around that to some extent, actually. I mean, but if you're solo queuing, though, it's still just going to be a playlist. So I don't know. Like I wish that they had it more like D1 in that aspect, where you can actually pick the mode you want to do, especially for strikes and Crucible if you're solo queuing. Maybe have like a solo queuing playlist. To where everyone in that playlist are solo queued. So then solo queued people aren't going up against a stacked team.
That's true.
Which I see that happen a lot in the way the Crucible is right now as well too. I'm kind of curious to see like what the penalties would be. Like what, like.
The penalties would be good. Like, some like for example, the penalties on Overwatch for leaving a competitive game is you're not allowed in another competitive match for at least 10 minutes.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so it'd be like banning them from getting in and out and in and out
for a time. Yeah.
Which is smart.
So they have that in Overwatch.
Yeah, they do have it in Overwatch.
Okay.
That's good.
See, and I can see them implementing that since both games are on the Blizzard client. So maybe they go that way. I won't be surprised. I bet it's going to be something along those lines.
Yep.
I bet.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not 10 minutes. Maybe it's like 5 or something.
It would have to be at least something if there's going to be penalty for it.
I think 10 minutes is a good time frame. Like, because you don't want it to be too short, but you don't want it to be too long either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thing on Overwatch as well is if you leave a game on competitive, you also this counts on if you doing placement matches, of course. If you leave in the middle of a game during a placement match, you will get that penalty, but also you will receive a loss on your placement as well.
Okay.
But if you leave after a timer is up, when the first person left, and you're not going to win, you will receive a loss, but you will not get in trouble for quitting early because it's that specific way of the game telling you you're not going to be able, you may or may not be able to do this, like with one person missing, so it'll let you off this time just because this person's gone. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah.
But you will still receive a loss if you left the game, therefore you forfeited.
Well, I wonder how it works if it's like a dropped connection. So they didn't leave, but they disconnected out,
It still works the same.
I bet it does, yeah. Because, I mean, they would have to have some kind of system into place to be able to differentiate between the two.
Which would be pretty difficult to play through.
Yeah. Yeah, so in that case, it's pretty unfortunate, and that's another reason why you want to have it not be, like, too severe.
Right.
But you want it to be enough to discourage people from doing it.
But the game does sense if it's a dropped connection or if people are purposely doing it, because if you're purposely doing it over and over again, that timer will build up.
Right.
And you will get longer penalties.
Yeah. It needs to be a little more than a slap on a wrist in order. If you're trying to stop people from doing it, it needs to be sufficient enough to where it's like, oh, okay, I don't want to do it anymore because.
Well, especially I like the idea. Give them a loss, Mess with their KD. That's.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, don't mess with the competitive player's KD. That's.
What's that old saying?
That's their e-peen. You reap what you sow.
Yes, you reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the KD is showing.
Yeah.
That came into play on Call of Duty Black Ops 3. If you joined the game and your team, if you joined the game that was in progress and your team lost, it wouldn't affect your KD.
Oh, yeah, you can't let that happen.
Yeah, that's what they brought into play on Call of Duty, because there's so many people that would go in, like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1, of course, that was, getting into games that, of course, would be in progress and your team would be losing. If you lost, your KD would end up dropping. So they changed that in Black Ops 3 where at the end of a game and you lose, the message will pop up telling you that your KD and everything else will still be the same. Because you couldn't help that your team was losing and you lost the game because you wasn't in for the entire match to help your team in all essence. So they kind of let you off on that one.
Yeah.
Which is pretty decent.
Right.
They can let you off on it a bit.
Yeah. All right, going to the next one. Okay, continued improvements to Iron Banner in faction rallies, including uniqueness of rewards. So speaking of which, we should be getting close to the next faction rally. Actually, it's going to be.
That also decides on whether I'm getting Destiny 2 or not, does it not? I haven't forgotten about it, and I'm still hating myself for making that suggestion.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
hoping it's.
Yeah, that's what we're going to find out.
I'm hoping it's not.
Yeah, in case you forgot, he's referring to.
It's going to kill me if it is.
Yeah, because there's a picture. There's been images. So I think in the next faction rally, I think Dead Orbit's going to have a Scathelocke looking auto rifle, and he said something that is probably going to be called the Deadlock.
Stupid.
Because it's a Dead Orbit Scathelocke, so Deadlock.
Yeah.
Right. So if it's named that,
sense.
he has to get.
I have to get Destiny 2 for PC, including the DLCs.
You might have just set yourself up.
It's gonna be so funny if they call that. It's gonna be so funny.
It's very possible.
I can't get salty about it because I did it to myself.
That's the worst.
That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah, but
there's the irony in it.
But I am a man of my word.
But if it is the Deadlock and you do get it on PC, though, you're gonna love it.
It's a game that's going to be played.
It's so good.
It's pretty much the same thing, but with better graphics.
But
what it is more than the graphics is the frickin' frame rates is what it is. It's just like how it looks and moves, and you add over twice as many frames as the console versions, and it's a big difference.
Well, it's like when I played it on console when you were first getting into it as well. Like I would get so frustrated at like the aiming and the everything else. But when I did the beta on PC, it's like the controls were just so much easier.
Yeah, mouse and keyboard is just so good too.
I'm not going to be using mouse and keyboard. That's a definite no.
Well, I mean, even controller. It's you're still going to have the more frames.
Which I think might still be my issue if I jump into Destiny. Once I get the Xbox, it's like I'm gonna have to get used to controls, or it's just gonna frustrate me and I won't want to do it.
The controls on console for Destiny are so good. Like it's
pretty much the same as D1, but easier. Like more maneuverable.
I guess we shall see.
A better feel to it.
Next couple weeks, I'll start playing some more and catching up to you guys.
All right.
The only problem with the controller for my PC is that the right trigger is too sensitive, so I could only like tap it slightly, and it would like shoot about 5 rounds.
God, I know my left trigger on mine has been screwy too for the past like couple weeks or something.
It's the function of the remote. That's how it's meant to perform.
Oh yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
All right, this next bullet point too is definitely a good one as well. Changes to make the mod economy more interesting and impactful. So I mean, this can make the game so much better on so many different levels because it can give you a reason to grind more all around, right? So like if they change the mod economy and then you're able to get a bunch of different mods from all these different activities, it's gonna encourage you to grind strikes and raids and Crucible and Lost Sectors and everything.
I'm going to grind raids anyway.
Yeah, and
I played 2 for the raids.
I mean, look at Warframe's mod system, right? Like if they kind of go in that direction, but not that far. Like Warframe's mod system is deep. Like
too much.
It's too much for the world of Destiny. It really is. It works in Warframe once you wrap your head around it, but
oh my god, why did I just do that?
if they kind of need to go in that direction though. Like mods definitely need to be.
I'm ashamed of myself right now.
They definitely need to be more than what they are. And another thing that a better mod economy can do too is also kind of put the static weapon issue at bay as well. It can make one scathe lock you have different from the other.
Right.
So if you have a bigger range of mods, think of some of the mods are like actual perks, right? Like let's say explosive rounds. Let's say a mod does like an explosive round. So say you have 2 better devils, that way you can have one with explosive rounds and you can have another one with outlaw or something, you know? I mean, just a better mod economy and making it more impactful, that can change so much of the game.
It really can.
Yeah.
So that's one I'm definitely going to be paying attention to. Like, I'm really curious to see what they do with the mod economy. That, but see, and then it's going to pertain, because the main reason why they did this whole static roll thing, obviously, is balancing between PvE and PvP. And what they can do is have it to where maybe some of those mods, they wouldn't work in PvP. Right, because when you're in PvE, you want to have guns that are dope, you know, almost OP to some extent. But when you take it into the Crucible, when you take it into PvP, you want it to be more balanced and have it where gun skill matters more than one guy with a rocket launcher with heat-seeking missiles, you know, where they're going to hit you no matter what. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what they do with that. Next thing, ongoing improvements to exotics, including adjustments to reduce instances of duplication. So, kind of implementing what they call like a smart loot system, to where when you open an engram or something, so when RNG's going, it's able to tell like kind of what you already have and stuff too. So some way of minimizing duplicates. Yeah.
That would be really nice, because I remember for the longest time when you were trying to get like the Ice Luna, it just, you kept getting so many duplicates of everything else but that, and then once you started to get it, you started getting those duplicates. But that's a really good thing to adjust, because I mean, I'd get annoyed with that if I was grinding so much and only ending up with the same stuff each time.
But then I wonder how that pertains into, like I was saying, with the different mod economy, to where you can have, say you have 2 of the same weapon, but they each have different perks. So you want 2 of them, you know, you want 2 of them, because then you can use one for each instance.
Well, you don't want to get rid of all the duplications, just taper down a little bit so they're not so excessive for one.
Yeah, because I've gotten so many scathe locks. Like, I love scathe lock, but the way the weapon system is right now, there's not really a reason to have more than one.
Right.
So I have
think you
one.
can sense your love for scathe lock.
What's that?
I think you can sense your love for scathe lock.
I can sense your love.
Yeah, well, I know, because I mentioned it so much. It's not even my main one either. God, the rifle that I'm kind of considering my main in D2 is the what the hell is it called? It's like the Valicated or whatever. It's the Viced energy auto rifle. It is legendary. It's a Vice legendary energy auto rifle, and that thing is so good.
When we were on the way home, I think no, because we only watched Wonder Woman today. Didn't you say something about like a connection to Wonder Woman in Destiny 2? Like the name of the character was.
Yeah, there is the submachine gun in Destiny 2, and I always hear it. It's funny, everyone pronounces it. Everyone mispronounces it in all the podcasts I listen to, and there's so many different ways I've heard people I've heard people pronounce it too. But Antiope, it looks like it's like Antiope, but it's the Hake submachine gun Antiope, and she's actually
the Wonder Woman's.
She was Wonder Woman's aunt. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I noticed her name in there, and I'm like, Oh, that's a submachine gun in Destiny 2.
Leave it to you to notice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known.
All right, there's a couple more bullet points here. New ways to spend surplus okay, this one's for you. New ways to spend surplus currency and materials. Looking at you, legendary shards.
Legendary shards.
How many of them have I got?
It even says that in parentheses.
968.
It even says that in parentheses. Looking at you, legendary shards.
968?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't even know how many I have. I have a couple. Or no, maybe 100, 200, somewhere in there. But I don't scrap as many legendaries as he does because I'm a collector. So I kind of have. I try and have one of everything.
My vault is empty right now.
Right.
Well, even if it's a weapon that doesn't really particularly fit your style, you can vault it, and then in the future, when they have a sandbox change next season, that weapon can be a freaking beast. Yep. So sometimes it's good to hang on to.
I can just grind for it again.
Speaking of which, did we talk about those on the podcast yet?
What?
The seasons. Because Bungie
I think we talked about it on the Daily Dose, but not the podcast. I'm not 100% though.
I think we might have talked about it last week.
On the podcast last week?
Yeah, because the stream they did it on, it was at TwitchCon.
I could be wrong. But I am also very forgetful.
Because I'm trying to...
I can forget what I said
ago. Yeah, we did talk about it last week, because the name of last week's episode was Plains of Eidolon and Destiny 2 Seasons.
Yeah, we did.
So we did talk a little bit about it.
My memory's bad.
I know, my memory's so bad, too. I was just going to ask, were you on... you were on last week, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, you were?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he was last week. I think it was 2 weeks he wasn't.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I was talking about them because the seasons are like so long. They should add more level ups to the clans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
last week. I completely forgot.
and Inebriation was on too.
Yeah.
Because we talked about Plains of Eidolon. That's
right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That is right.
My internet was actually good.
All right, and then the last bullet note here. This one's an awesome one, too. Here you go. Listen to this one. An emote interface that allows players to equip salty, spicy ramen, 6-shooter, and flip out all at the same time.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
That could be interesting.
So, kind of like maybe like a Warframe-style emote wheel.
That'd be cool.
Overwatch has it. Mm-hmm. Overwatch has that exact same thing. You could equip 4 emotes at once.
Yeah, and Overwatch, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, but when I see this, though, the first thing that comes to my mind is everyone that they just listed right there is an exotic one. So can you do it to only exotics? Can you only equip multiple exotics? Or is it going to be a wheel where you can have legendaries, too? Like, I don't think they would do it to where it's just exotics. If they do that, I think that if it's like an emote wheel and you can only put exotic emotes in there, I think that would kind of be a weird design decision. I think you would be able to put regular ones too.
You could also
again, we talk about the same company that nerfed almost every single thing in Destiny 1 besides rifles.
True.
They do some questionable stuff at times, so yeah. I mean,
I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah. I just don't think I could see that though. Like, I mean, who knows if it's even gonna be like a wheel kind of thing? But how else are you gonna create an emote interface that can equip that many exotic emotes? You know, so it's gonna be probably some kind of emote.
That's not to ask. It's Bungie. They're gonna do something wild.
Right. It's gonna be I don't know. I'm kind of curious about it, but I don't know, yeah. So closing on that, Barrett says, there's more we're working on. We'll talk again soon. And then next on the 12th, they have the patch note preview. Next week, we will be deploying patch 1.0.6. Stay tuned to Bungie Help for dates and times early next week. It contains a fix to an emo issue and should help you find more guardians backing you up in public spaces. There are also several Crucible changes that affect scoring and spawning. These are not all of the notes. We'll have a full list for you when the update goes live. So, some of the general fixes, they fixed an issue with the collision detection on the bureaucratic walk emote. That was the emote that they were using in trials, where if they did the emote standing up against a wall, they can clip into the wall and hide in the wall and kill you.
Oh, wow.
So that's why they actually canceled trials until November 3rd is when they're bringing trials back.
To fix that.
And that's what it is, yeah.
They're doing something right then.
What's that?
They're doing something right then.
Yeah. Yeah, this issue first came known like a week or two ago, and so that's why they had to shut trials down and find a fix for it. So it was a collision issue. They fixed an issue causing players to encounter empty public spaces too often in free roam. I'm glad for this one too, because I haven't seen it a ton. Have you really experienced this when you've been solo, just finding empty public spaces? What's that?
I experienced one today.
Really? Yeah. Just the whole like instance was just empty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I've kind of came across it sometimes too. I mean, of course, haters and some people are gonna say, yeah, because no one's playing that piece of crap game now, but there has been a big player drop off, but you're gonna see that on a game like this anyways. Anytime a new game comes out, you're gonna see a huge spike of people watching it and playing it on Twitch, and then you're gonna see a big player drop. It happens every single game that comes out. We just saw it with Shadow of War. We're gonna see it with Assassin's Creed here soon. Like that's just the way the games industry is right now. You're gonna see a huge spike because of Twitch and all that, and then down. But you also are seeing. But that's not to say that you are seeing a lot of people, even hardcore, stop playing Destiny 2 a little sooner than they kind of would.
Yeah. And well, I don't know any of it personally because I haven't played it as much as you guys, but here in the next couple weeks I'm going to start playing it a lot more.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
And do less Facebook. A lot less Facebook and more gaming.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how we're gonna have to do the chat. You're gonna have to get Discord on your phone, and then get you a headset to use with your phone, like one of these that has a mic.
I'm gonna have to figure out where I'm putting the Xbox because I only have what the PlayStation is on. I don't want to stack it on top of the other, and that's not good.
We'll figure it out. I'm still trying to think how I'm gonna put the One X. Like, I mean, I might just put it where the Xbox is probably, but
who knows? Maybe we'll be in our own place sooner than we think. I know we can just buy a whole new nightstand where my games are in the bedroom and your games are in your own personal room.
Oh, and then put your PC right next to mine.
And in your personal room of the office. Have some of those sick ass.
Well, because then eventually, because when we get the Destiny podcast going, when we start stream that podcast, and eventually I kind of want to get it to this podcast too, since we're kind of having, since Homicidal's a regular host now,
which I do
and
enjoy.
Then we'll have more. So much. I want to have it to where we use Skype and we have the panels on the stream, so that's why we need to get you another webcam, and then where you'll be sitting over there, and
goals.
Like I said, it's all work in progress, all this. So
only my face tends to break screens because of how bad I look.
Right.
My own.
Oh yeah, it's.
If I was to make that joke in front of my fiance, I would get a slap.
I would too. I probably would too.
It went over my head.
He said something with how bad he looks, and he said if he said that joke in front of his fiance, he would get slapped.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I probably would too. All right, and then
I'm calling you sexy.
And then this patch coming this next week, there is some changes to the Crucible, which I'm kind of stoked on. Some of these smaller ones. So they updated Mercy rule settings to allow Mercy to activate slightly later in the match, allowing a wider range of scores to trigger it. So in Clash, they reduced the score limit to 50. It was at 75. For Control, they lowered it from 100 down to 90. Reduced influence that enemy-controlled zones exert over the spawning system. For Survival, this is the one I'm really particularly liking because I love the modes. I love the Survival mode, but I do agree that it does kind of take too long to play. So they reduced the round time limit down to 2 minutes, which is down from 3. So they reduced the round time limit a whole minute, and then they reduced the life count down to 6 from 8.
Well, rest in peace, Destiny 2.
So that should should speed them up a little bit more.
That is so hopeful. Way to be positive. Glass is half full.
And then Supremacy increased the score to win to 70, which is up from 50. They now grant 1 point for defeating an enemy guardian. That's for Supremacy. And then adjusted the influence that enemy crests have on the spawning system. So that's like with like spawn flipping and stuff. So we'll have to see what that does.
She never showed. How rude.
Yeah. We're getting close to wrapping it up here. And then there's just a really quick list here too. Destiny 2 PC launch. This is known issues. So there is the SSSE3 required. Destiny 2 will not run on processors without supplemental streaming SIMD extensions 3. Please note, we've seen a number of reports of crashes on CPUs that fall below our stated minimum specs. We are investigating the issue and will attempt to fix the crash, but these CPUs are below minimum spec and are not officially supported.
Could that have been the issues that you were having earlier?
No, God, no. I have a good CPU. That's not it.
There's something that was screwing you up, though.
AMD Vega crashes. We are aware of player-reported crashes at Mission 6 for players using AMD Vega GPUs, and we are working with our partners to investigate the issue. Clan roster. We are aware of player reports describing the clan roster not appearing in Destiny 2 on PC. We're investigating this issue. I'm still waiting to be approved on into the clan on PC. I'm in it on Xbox, but it hasn't been accepted yet into the PC one yet.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an admin of the clan and I can go to accept that now. I can.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about that. To ask you about that because I know you're an admin on it, right? So yeah. I thought of that the other day too. I was talking to someone about it. I'm like, wait a minute, Homicidal's an admin. He can do it. Like, I need to talk to him. And I forgot to mention it too. So yeah.
We almost tried.
I'm glad
to
we
see
remembered that.
If you were streaming on our way home, but he was asleep, so I took a picture at a red light instead. Because I even turned to him, I was like, well, is Homicidal on? You should see if he's on Twitch. And then he just like didn't really respond. And I look over next thing I know he's passed out.
Yeah, quite a few times I sleep on the ride home.
More often.
And then when we get home, I wake up and come right in here and start streaming.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much. That was pretty much it for the TWAB. They had the movies of the week. Okay, so then closing, Cosmo says, Destiny 2 feels really good on PC. I plan on spending a good portion of my weekend leveling up my third hunter on my third platform. Maybe I'll run into you during a public event. There is another update coming next week, and you just got to look at some of our future plans on how we will support the game. Thanks for continuing to help us shape the game by playing and giving us feedback. All right, so I don't know. All in all, I think this was an excellent TWAB. I love that they went over, everything.
As they attack my eye.
That, well, it's not everything either. I mean, they even say that they are working on other stuff too, and they're going to talk about it more in the future. So,
right.
I along with what they said seasons are going to be, like, I think it's a good framework for what they can do with the game, because every 3 months there's a new season, so they can introduce new content, new weapon rules, just refreshing up the game, like with the new seasons and stuff. So I'm hopeful. I mean, like, this is the way it was in Destiny 1. Destiny 1 vanilla had endgame issues and lots of problems, and it got way better over time. And that's the type, and I get the argument, like I pay for the game to be done, like I buy the game expecting it to be done and not having all this extra stuff. And I don't like feeling like a beta tester or whatever, and like I get all that, but Destiny is a different type of game. It's a live game. It's a game as a service. It's a game where the world is supposed to change as it goes on. Like, it's not a game like Assassin's Creed where you play it, you have that experience, and for the most part that's it. I mean, yeah, you will get DLCs and stuff here and there, but Destiny is a different type of game. Like, it's live. It's a live game. There's a weekly reset, for Christ's sakes. That changes the game every week.
You're in.
It goes off real time, but that's kind of like buying a game that just barely came out and expecting all the DLCs to be on that first launch.
But like, I mean, because then there's a lot of people sometimes that think DLCs are cut content. That they cut content out of the main game. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm sure that happens.
I think it's a way to keep them rich, because it's like those memes you see where it's like, okay, we're gonna release a game and then we're gonna wait 3 months to release more content, and that additional content you have to pay for. And it's like, well, why can't we just get it all at once? Because remember when games first, it's like in the 90s, games all just came out once. There wasn't any DLC until the internet, and then
microtransactions is what started. It's funny that you bring that up, because last week at work, every podcast I listened to, this is what they were talking about. Microtransactions and DLCs and all this, and it's just the way the industry is right now. But and they're not going away anytime soon, because they were talking about how much money. What?
Oh, I was hearing a weird echo.
One of my friends spent over 100 on Destiny 1.
Right, there was that report that came out where microtransactions made Activision. Microtransactions and DLC and stuff made Activision $3 billion or something. So
microtransactions and DLCs are used a lot lately.
Yeah, it's smart on their end to make more money and have more money to develop other games and things like that. But it's still kind of charging the port. It's still just
and in Destiny 1, they said back in Destiny 1, and I'm sure it's the same way now, that that Eververse purchases and stuff supported the live team, the team that's sustaining the game right now. So
that's keeping it alive and fixing the bugs.
Yeah, and I've seen the Eververse silver purchases, and they're quite cheap. Not gonna lie, £4.99 for at least 500 totem silver coins. Honestly, that's pretty good. Also, Solgr, you're in on Blizzard.
That's turned into a 2-hour podcast.
I've just accepted it.
Oh, okay. On the clan? Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're in. I just I've looked quickly. So you're in the Team MG clan on Battle.net.
On PC now. Okay.
Yeah. And also, speaking of microtransactions, there's actually game companies that you really wouldn't expect to do microtransactions that have gotten into the microtransactions.
Yes, and that has been the big talk. That's why it's been coming up in the industry lately, because Shadow of War raised a big stink. And here's the thing, I'll say this real quick. Shadow of War did it well, though. They did it like how I think microtransactions should be done. You don't want it pay to win. You want it like Warframe does and stuff, to where you can still get everything just by grinding the game, but paying for microtransaction currency and all that, it just bypasses some of the grind. I think that's always the good way to do it.
I mean, Team Fortress 2 has quite a bit of a microtransactions. I mean, you got the free to play and then pay to play sort of thing. And the thing is, way you trigger pay to play is just by purchasing one item, and it isn't like a pay to win. It just gives you access to win drops that you wouldn't drop be able to claim as a free-to-play player.
Mm-hmm.
And, it isn't exactly necessarily pay to win, because there is going to be that, unstoppable sort of like combination, but there is so many combinations to do on that game, you won't be able to find that one unstoppable combination, because there's like over a good couple thousand items in that game. Things like weapons alone.
Yeah, I actually need to download that game. I've never played that one. And I know
a game you haven't played?
I play it. I'm a pay-to-play player, and it is a fun game.
Yeah. You played on PC, don't you?
Yeah. Okay. The pay-to-play sort of stuff comes in on PC, but you can do free-to-play on PC. It's just the console edition on the orange box. That's pay-to-play because you have to buy the game itself.
Oh, that's right.
Things with Team Fortress 2, it first released out on the orange box, but it was an original free-to-play sort of game, and it didn't really come out with a lot of like customization, game modes, and sort of area worlds. Now it's got like Halloween events, Christmas events, and a lot of stuff you can unlock and purchase on the store as well as Man vs. Machine, which is pretty much a hoarded mode, like zombies on Black Call of Duty, that you can play with more than 4 people for definite.
Right.
And you've got at least 9 classes that you can pick as well.
Yeah, that reminds me. You need to get Fortnite with us too.
Yeah. That was.
I need to play more of that.
I've got PUBG.
That just reminded me though of the time that Homicidal Lou joined us in playing zombies, and you had just gotten so dead tired that you were trying to jump off the bridge. It's like, what the hell are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And he had the caffeine tablet stuck to his forehead.
Right. Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
That was a good spot.
Now you remember?
It was just like, wait a minute, babe, don't fall asleep on us.
Oh my god.
It was funny though. It was fun.
Got it because you couldn't remember it. You was falling asleep.
Right?
Oh my god. I know, that's so bad.
Yeah. I tried to
Hey,
keep
you
awake.
needed sleep.
I love you.
I know. Alright, yeah,
No
that's...
gun untruth.
Yeah, that's gonna do it for this week. I'd say we think we'd wrap it up. So
yeah, it's been a good almost 2 hours.
Yeah, this is the longest one we've done
In a while.
Yeah, we're at an hour and 52 right now. So
Showing and Liberation didn't come in. I think he got sidetracked on the strikes.
Yeah, he must have. So
he got sucked into the black hole of a strike.
So what we'll do, maybe I can try and get him in on a daily dose edition of it with us this week, and we could talk about Destiny 2 on PC or on the podcast next week. So
I'll more than likely be the most silent person on that daily dose because I haven't played Destiny 2 for PC.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for Friday the 13th. That was awesome. I can't wait to get into that.
Yes, that was incredible.
And the DLCs.
And the DLC.
Yeah, have fun with the
DLC. The season pass.
I don't know what comes with the DLCs. I really don't. It was just a random, quick scroll through it, done.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I have to play that soon.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I'm gonna get on. I'm sure I'll probably get into it even before. Well, no, maybe. Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. I mean, Tuesdays. Yeah, already because tomorrow and then Tuesday
Halloween.
After that. So
that's true.
So it's gonna be a good on Halloween. I'll take a little picture and send it to you on this.
Well,
you're gonna like it.
We're gonna be dressed up in our costumes on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are doing a costume stream. Yeah.
I'm gonna look for an old shirt. Hopefully, like a whitish or bright grayish. And I'm just gonna put fake blood all over thing.
Right. Well, on Tuesday for work, I'm gonna wear my psych ward and kitty ears. It works.
Yeah, like I'm not
almost 4 liters.
No, but I do want to thank you for everybody who tuned in and listened to us talk and rant and discuss random things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching Friday the 13th for Solgr.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
It's always a pleasure to have you on, Homicidal Lou.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
It's
And if
always
you're
a
watching
pleasure.
this,
I get a thrill out of it, believe it or not. I get one of the best thrills out of getting people's things.
I know you do. Yeah, I've seen it.
Fun. I find it fun.
Yeah, I've seen it happen
It
so
is
many
really
times,
fun.
so I know for sure.
It's about giving instead of what you get. It's
Exactly.
It's a good feeling, and it's nice.
It is.
Good
Yeah,
characteristic.
yeah. There needs to be more people like that.
Yes, there needs to be more people like you, Homicidal Lou.
There really does.
Agreed.
All right. Oh yeah, and then if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you like the video. Check out all the links in the description. I'll have links to all our social media pages, mine and Homicidal's Twitch pages as well. And then, like I said, don't forget to check out our Walking Dead podcast on Mondays at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time at twitch.tv/SolgROnly. Sub to the channel for more in the future, and stop by the stream. I stream every day as well at twitch.tv/SolgROnly, Monday through every day. So stop by sometime during the week as well. But if not, we'll see you next week.
Always deuces.